if you're on this path and have been for a hot second, you probably know that it's very common for people to underestimate you, overlook you, undervalue you, when, baby, you bring the most to the table. You bring the most energy to the table, positivity to the table, genuineness, honest hard work. You're probably a peacemaker. You're probably a leader since birth. You may have recently discovered that. You're a leader by birth. Since birth, you've been a leader. You never had an easy time being told what to do, because what you were being told to do, it's like you knew, it's like you were born with more wisdom. You were born with more wisdom than the people in authority these days. When they're telling you what to do, you were born with more wisdom than them. And you were a child. You were a baby. So, if you can resonate with that, I get it. And this isn't to be egotistical or narcissistic. This is just real. And then the longer you stay with God, the more wisdom you truly gain. And you feel like you could be anyone's grandfather. I'm just being serious. But you probably have been overlooked. When you start new jobs, when you work jobs, people have probably been like, your work ethic is on point. Your work ethic is on point. And it's because, and you don't brag. You don't oversell yourself. But what you do speaks for itself. We are often overlooked. We are often overvalued. We often get looked at like they don't understand that we can see through them. They don't understand that we can see their motives. We can see their next move. We're not surprised when they do anything anymore maliciously towards us, because we already pegged their character. We already pegged them. And it's to our advantage, honestly, to get overlooked, undervalued, and underappreciated, because when they truly view us as such, we get to see how they really feel about us. Because if they viewed us as what God often is concealing from these people, like if when Jesus was on this earth, if those humans that were persecuting him truly knew that he was the Son of the one living God, they wouldn't have treated him that way. They wouldn't have treated him that way. And I'm just saying that as an example. I'm just saying that as an example. God will allow people to not see you for who you really are, and it is for your protection, and it is for you to be able to see people's true colors. Everyone I go around, you don't want to shine your brightest light around everyone, because even when you conceal some of that, they still can't stand you. They still cannot handle it. So God often disguises people that he has on mission and that are truly operating with their spiritual gifts, who are walking in repentance, who are walking in authority, who know what's up, who can see through everyone. He often will conceal them because this is for their protection. You don't need to turn everyone's head. You don't need to get the attention of everyone. Have you ever been in a narcissistic relationship? Do you know how many monsters are out here? True nightmares, true monsters. You don't want it, and they look amazing. They sound amazing until you get behind the scenes. You don't want the attention of everyone, because these people come into your life, deceive you, and then try to destroy you. A lot of us are undercover. A lot of us are undercover and in disguise for our protection, because God is using us to fulfill a purpose, and that purpose will come to completion. And we don't need to look like a sex icon. We don't need to look like a celebrity. We don't need to look like a Greek god. We don't need to look like that, because we don't need to get everyone's attention and then in our flesh weakness get drawn off by, if the person that our type hollers at us, our weak flesh may get out of assignment. No. We're in disguise. We're undercover. And the people, you're probably the last person that most humans would expect to be walking around full of God's Spirit. You are probably the least likely suspect that looks like you could see through anyone. That you are full of God's Spirit and bodying and carrying out His plan, His purpose. Maybe you do, but you're probably not someone that people will be like, no, you look like an average Joe, probably. If someone gets to know you, they're going to know something's different in you, because when you talk, you don't even try to impress people, but they can tell something's different about you, because you are peculiar. You're not like the world. You don't fit in with the world. Even when you try to fit in with the world, you don't. This is for our protection. This is not punishment. We're undercover. And, some people will still see us for who we really are. But most people, they would never think God would use someone like us. If you're on this path,